Hey everyone, Wideck here again, this time with Game 1 of a best of 5 from the final round of the losers bracket from the recent Dreamhack Winter 2013 edition played in Sweden. And this time spawning on Shir Vestige. We've got spawning in the bottom right as the red Zerg, representing Team Startale. We have Life. And his opponent spawning in the top left as the blue Protoss, representing Team Azubu. We've got Patience. And it will be very entertaining to see who can come out on top in this best of 5. Patience just came off a thrilling 2-0 victory over Innovation in the previous round. So he does have a lot of momentum. Now Life, on the other hand, just came from a 0-2 loss to Taeja in the winners finals. So Life's winning streak had been put to a halt. So we'll have to see if Life can bounce back or if Patience is going to use that momentum to secure victory. Now what is interesting as well is that Life has gone first in a lot of premier tournaments. So he is the kind of player that has resiliency and does know how to go deep in tournaments, as he has done so in this tournament. But I think Life wants a little bit more than third place. So it'll be interesting to see who's going to come out on top. Patience in the top left, Life in the bottom right. Now, in the previous game with Patience against Innovation, we did see that very fast probe doing the gateway proxy rush, but it doesn't look like any hijinks in this game is going to occur. Very basic. Life is going to open up with the hatchery at the low ground before spawning pool and before extractor. And Patience, on the other hand, is getting that assimilator first, it looks like. And he's got the second pylon down as well. Now, Patience's probe is able to scout that hatchery, so he knows that there will be no rush. Mind you, I haven't seen any 6 or 10 pools in a while, so it'd be pretty strange to see it now. But Patience is able to confirm that. Now, Life is going to be getting that spawning pool. Now, he doesn't have extractors up as of yet. So it'll be interesting to see if he's going to be focusing on Zergling speed or not. Generally, without Zergling speed as a Zerg player, it's difficult for you to get map control without Zergling speed. But it looks like Life is going to opt for that early third base, actually. So very interesting, and I don't think Patience's probe was able to catch that. Let's just take a look. I don't think he was able to see that. No, he was not able to see that, so that'll be interesting. Is this third base going to be that ninja hatchery that Patience does not expect, and is that going to really hurt Patience in the near future? Now, Life is able to see the timing of that Nexus at the expansion, and there are no gateway units out as of yet. We do have the Mothership Core and 21 probes, so Patience realizes that Life is not going to attack for a while, but does he realize that there's a third base incoming? And once again, Life, like I mentioned before, hasn't had any extractors. He's going to get the first one up just now. He's going to start morphing one right now. So Zerglings are going to be slow for an extended period of time. So that may be one area where Patience can grab an advantage. Now, we do have a probe moving out for Patience across the map. I think he's going to be scouting to see if there is that third base. He's going to be able to see the Zerglings. Zerglings do see that probe. Is this probe going to be able to make it? The shields haven't regenerated. No, it looks like this probe is not going to be able to regenerate shields. Oh, moving through the Zerglings. And I think this probe is going to be over with one more slash. There we go. That probe is finished. So once again, that third base has not been revealed to Patience. So Life is in a very good position now with that third base. Now, we do have 100 gas now. Do we have Zergling speed on the way? No, we don't have Zergling speed on the way as of yet. Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at Patience's gas. It looks like he's got Life has 88 gas and should have 100 soon. And I think that spawning pool should be getting, or unless he's going for early lair, which would be a very interesting play. And maybe going for early lair. I'm not sure. He's still accumulating gas. Now, Patience has been able to block off the entrance to his expansion. But I really think Patience needs to find out about this third base. Otherwise, Life is just going to run amok. And yes, we finally do have Zergling speed being researched by Life, as well as the Roach Warren. Both players are not really building that many units. They're just kind of sitting back, building up their economic base. And if you take a look at Patience, he actually has no gateway units out, other than a couple sentries. There we go. A few more sentries to force field some the entranceway. Now, Patience is going to be getting his third Nexus up and running very soon here, but Life's third base has been up and running for quite a while already. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a huge advantage, because you have to remember it's not really saturated. It looks like Life only has 1 drone per mineral, and generally you need 2 to 3 to really saturate it. Now, Patience's third base has been scouted out by this lone Zergling, and in fact, he's going to start working on this Nexus. And none of the gateway units are moving to intercept. It looks like the Mothership Core has been dispatched to deal with this lone Zergling, the hero Zergling. Life is not microing it, so he is going to lose 25 minerals. Very unfortunate. That's a very big spleen for a very small unit. But at the same time, another Zergling is able to get into the main base of Patience, so he's able to see the Twilight Council and the Forge. The probes have been pulled off the line to try and deal with the Zergling, but at the same time, we do have a large attack by Patience on the left side of the map. And with just the Queen and a couple Roaches, Life may have a difficult time defending off this attack. Now, the Roaches are being rallied from the other hatcheries to come to the aid of this hatchery on the left side of the base, but the 3 force fields are going to be able to block off the reinforcements, and Patience is going to have to recollect himself. He thinks better of the attack, and he's going to lay low just for a little bit, dealing really inconsequential damage. So that attack was not really that successful, and now with Life's units in position, it may be very difficult for Patience to take down this hatchery. Force fields do go up again, cutting off the army. Very well placed force fields. Now, sentries are very good for displacing units, but they don't have a lot of range, and they don't have a lot of firepower either. And now with the force fields down, it looks like the sentries might not be able to do too much here. The Roaches are valiantly trying to defend the hatchery. The drones are being focused down, losing a lot of units, and a nifty recall by Patience to his third base. And if you take a look at resources lost, ouch! Lost a lot of drones and a lot of units. Almost 3 times as much as our Protoss players, so Life has lost quite a bit. So I think that attack was quite successful, but he'll have to keep doing it, because remember, Life did have this third base up and running quite a bit earlier than our Protoss player, and at this moment in time, even though the resources lost shows that Patience has dealt a significant blow, if you take a look at the supply, Life has about a 40 supply advantage, and we're only at the 12.5 minute mark of the game. So Life is still in a very good position here. And look at the Zealot is going to get caught out of position. He is going to get wrapped up. There we go. That Zealot has been feasted on. Well, it looks like Patience is looking out for more blood. He is going to move south to control the eastern Zelnaga tower, but he is going to retreat at least temporarily. Now, we do have 6 Hydralisks on the way and a whole bunch of upgrades, but we have a few Immortals as well as a Robotics Bay coming out from Patience. Be interesting to see if we're going to see a whole bunch of Colossi or not. No High Templars as of yet. But at the same time, Life is moving across the map to the center. It looks like he may be looking to pick off maybe any stray pylons. He's not going to find any here. So Roaches have been parked directly outside of Patience's expansion, and they are just chilling out, at least temporarily. Now, Life's huge army of Hydralisks has been detected. We've got 22 in this composition. Has been detected by the hallucinated Phoenix. And so Patience is going to retreat, it looks like, back to the safety and comfort of his base. I think that's a wise decision, at least for now. And we've got lots of Hydralisks moving across the map from Life's base, moving to the center. And now that Zelnaga tower, held by that lone Zealot, I don't think he's going to do very well. Now, what's very interesting to see here is that Life's units don't have any upgrades, but Patience does have +2 weapon upgrades. So even though Life does have the supply advantage, if you take a look at 70 supply advantage, he doesn't have the upgrade advantage. Now, he is going to get +1. There we go. We do have +1 ranged missiles up now, but is that going to be enough? Now, at the same time Life is conducting this attack, he does have the 4th base being constructed. So if Patience is not able to hold off this attack, Patience will be very far behind. The Hydras are going to town, and what's very interesting is there's no roaches in front to tank. Generally, Zerg players like to have a mixed composition. Now the Zerglings and roaches are coming in behind. Generally, you want them in front. The force fields are finally fading away, and with only one lone Colossus here, I'm not sure if Patience is going to be able to hold this off, even with the Nexus Cannon. The cannon does have 10 kills, but Patience's army is fading away. Now the Hydras are focusing down on the Gateway and the Nexus. The Nexus is going to fall, and the Hydras look like they are going to retreat. The Colossi do survive. They're not getting focused down on, but it looks like the Colossi are going to have to kite away at these Zerglings. There's just too many Hydralisks. And one Colossi does finally fall, and the resources loss is evening out. Now, it is still in favor of our Protoss player, but remember, he's losing a lot of mining time from that Nexus, and at the same time, Life's 4th base is now up. He doesn't have any drones mining currently, but he does have 4 bases to our Protoss players 2. So Patience is really behind, and now with 9 Corruptors coming out, these Colossi are going to face really stiff competition from the air. And I think Patience is in a very poor position. He's down by 30 supply, but what I'm worried about is more of the economic base. So if Patience wants to get back into this game, I think he's going to have to knock out 1 or 2 of these hatcheries immediately to try and even this out. Otherwise, it may be the end of Patience very quickly. Now, very smart by Life to send a small hit squad of roaches to this base on the right side once again, trying to deal with these new incoming warped-in structures, but there's too many stalkers here. I don't think these roaches are going to do too much. And we have a huge attack in the middle of the map. The Colossi are being focused down by the Corruptors. They all fall, but now the Corruptors are not able to do much, but they have been able to take care of their targets, able to destroy both Colossi, and now the resources lost, even though still in favor of our Protoss player. I think our Zerg player just has so many more resources, it looks like. And so it's not nearly indicative of who's winning the game. It looks like Patience is getting angry here. He's going to move in here. The Stalkers are going to blink away. The Immortal is going to get chewed up, as well as the first Colossi. I think the Colossi is going to go bye-bye as well. There's just too many Corruptors. And now Patience only has Stalkers. And Stalkers are not very good against Zerglings, and they're not very good against Hydras. And we've got a lot of them from Life. And so that engagement has definitely been won by Life. And now the supply difference is about 80. And I don't know if Patience can come back from such a huge supply deficit. Especially when Life still has that 4th base up and running. Now, Patience does have his 3rd base up finally, but you do have to remember his 1st base is nearly mined out. Now, what is also interesting is Life is counterattacking the 3rd base of Patience once again, but he's not really focusing on upgrades. The upgrades do go to our Protoss player. He has +3 attack, and he's getting +1 armor, but Life's Zerg units only have +1 missile attack and no armor upgrade, so this is very interesting. The Protoss definitely has the upgrade advantage. It looks like finally the upgrade advantage might be playing a significant role here, able to take down a lot of the Hydralisks, but the Stalkers are taking significant damage in return. The Corruptors are just not doing very much. There are no Colossi, and you may be thinking, well, why bring the Corruptors anyways? Well, you got to remember, if there's a whole bunch of Corruptors, the Protoss player is a lot less likely to build any Colossi, and without any Colossi, Zerglings and Hydras can do significant damage to the Stalkers. So even though they do take up some supply, they are a significant deterrent. It looks like Life is constantly on the offensive. He's attacking the 3rd base of Patience once again. And that gateway is going to be destroyed. And still, all those Corruptors are still in this composition. Very interesting. I think for Patience, what he needs to do here, if he doesn't want to commit to Colossi, is to try to get to High Templar tech and then to storm his opponent. But instead, he's just resting on Gateway units, and Gateway units don't deal really well with Hydralisks nor Zerglings. And we do have a huge engagement here. A lot of the roaches are getting blown up handily by the Immortals. The last Immortal does get blown up as well. The Hydralisks are stringing a lot of kills together. Now, Patience is microing and blinking back his hurt Stalker, so great control by Patience. But it just seems like he's losing the constant, against the constant aggression from Life. He may be able to pick off a few units here, but is that going to be enough? The resources lost is really, really close. And you do have to remember, if you take a look at the resources and the supply, Life is now doubling Patience in supply, and he has his 4th base, like I mentioned. Patience is still on 3 bases, and you do have to remember that 1st base is basically out of minerals. So Patience needs to find that 4th base right away. He's just falling behind. Now, he does have the upgrade advantage, like I said, but he hasn't been able to really materialize that into a significant advantage. Now, he is going to be able to catch some of these stray Hydralisks, but it looks like the Stalkers are going to have to blink away. So very, very entertaining game from both players, but Life is just running amok. All the action is basically happening on Patience's side of the map for the last 10 minutes or so. And like I said, with Life able to mine from this 4th hatchery, now he's going to be getting some static defenses as well. Patience has to find a way to deal an economic blow to Life, or he's going to have to be able to expand to a 4th base to try and even up the economic game. Now, these 3 stray roaches trying to go for that covert stealth attack once again. Patience able to detect it beforehand and able to eat up 3 roaches for free. But Patience will have to have a lot of those healthy engagements to get back into this game, because right now he's really, really behind. He's not able to do any significant damage to our Zerg player. Catching a few more roaches very close to Patience's natural expansion. So another good pickoff by Patience, but like I said, he's going to have to keep doing it. And it's very dangerous because Patience has actually broken up his army into 2. And his army is significantly smaller than his Zerg opponents. So one bad confrontation, and I think that will spell the end of our Protoss player. Now, we do have an engagement at that 4th base of Life. At that 8 o'clock position, we do have 4 Stalkers being left behind. They are going to blink away to fight another day. But like I said, Stalkers do not deal with Hydralisks nor Zerglings particularly well. And I'm very confused why Patience doesn't try to throw some High Templars into this composition. We do have the force fields going down, trying to cut up that army. 7 force fields, able to cut up that army quite significantly. Good placement of force fields. Unfortunately, that army is just so large. And now Patience is going to have to retreat once again. Now we do have a small hit squad of Stalkers able to blink into the main base of Life, excuse me. So some of these drones and possibly some of these tech structures are going to take a beat down. But is it going to be a significant enough blow for Patience to take command of this game? He is still down by 40 supply, and it looks like Life doesn't care. He is going to stampede forward to that 3rd base. We have a fungal growth going down, catching a lot of the units. Are we going to see chain fungals? Another fungal. These units are caught and they cannot move. The Hydralisks are just going to town. And at the same time, fungal growth is eating away at the shields. So it looks like the fungal growths are very effective here. We still have 3 immortals, but not that many roaches left. All the roaches have been destroyed. Just Hydralisks left. And 1 lone roach, excuse me. But all these Stalkers are in the red. A lot of damage is being taken by both sides. It looks like Life's Hydralisk attack force will be cleaned up. But it looks like that hit force from Patience might be destroyed as well. Only 5 Stalkers able to scoot away. And not really able to do that much damage to that main base either. Able to pick off a few drones. But now with that 5th base up for Life, and with a 2-to-1 almost supply advantage, I really don't see Patience coming back in this game. We still don't have a 4th base by Patience. And he's down by so much supply. It'll be very difficult for him to get back in this game. Now, we do have... excuse me. Now, we do have 2 Colossi here coming in. The Corruptors are being focused down. 1 does go down. And this may very well be the last attack of the game. With a 196 to 123 supply, the Hydralisks are moving in. 2 Colossi are being pulled in by the Vipers. Colossi are eaten up for breakfast immediately, and the 3rd one is going to be destroyed as well. Patience is going to tap out. So very interesting. This is the Zerg style play. Even though you lose more resources, you just mine more resources so you can afford to lose more. So Life, you know, after being defeated by Taeja in the winners final 2-0, is able to come back with a victory convincingly in Game 1. It'll be interesting to see in Game 2 if Patience can bounce back. Now, obviously, This round is a little bit different. It is a best of 5 instead of a best of 3, but obviously no one wants to go down 2-0. So it'll be very interesting what Patience does in the next game. So let's head on over there.